Hey, family tech man, how's your spirit? Talk to me. Tell me something good. Today's principles of life. I'm gonna give y'all a couple minutes to come on in. But as you know, this is called Tac. Through adversity comes change. By me, Rich Colma. Five principles, three articles, one healer, helping everyone accept, achieve, and appreciate love. That's what this is all about. Doing the right thing while no one is looking, because God is always watching. And let me get this right. There we go. Yeah. So we're gonna go. What's going on with this camera? There we go. Um. Yeah. So the light is acting up today. There we go. Uh. What are tactical life principles? Core idea. Tact isn't just social grace. It's strategic positioning in life because through your adversities comes the change. Excuse me. You have to go through your adversities in order for you to learn, to grow, to understand life and all the parameters of life. While most people fail, not for lack of talent, but for lack of tactical awareness, they don't pay attention. You must pay attention to life. Like I give you all the ayat in the Quran, Surah 3 ayat 190. It says, "Any fi khalqi samawati wa tilfil layli wa nahari ala lil ulil albab." And what that means is in the creations of the heavens and the earth, in the alternations of night and day, there are signs for men of understanding. I don't know why my light is acting up. uh, First caught, then taught. Tactical truth. You learn more from what you catch. Environments, like I said, paying attention where you're from, habits, things that you do all the time, and models, role models, people that you model yourself after, and then what you're told. You know, your principles are formulated by all of these different parameters of life, everything around you, and how you deal with them. You know, just like they say, it could be two brothers in one house. One is good and one is, follows another tack. But that's just how life is. You know, some people pay attention, some people don't. Oh, and like I was saying, with before I went to the thing. Any fi khalqi samawati wal ard waqtila fil layli wa nahari la talil ulil albab. And what that means is in the creations of the heavens and the earth and the alternations of night and day, there are signs for men of understanding. And this is what it's about, you know, understanding what is out here, looking at life for what it really is and living life in accordance with that. Most people don't do that. And this is why we have problems. This is why we have all kinds of isms and schisms, right? Your surroundings shape your reflexes. If you're surrounded by chaos, your attack will be reactive, not strategic. Meaning, If it's a lot of chaos, you're going to be on point all the time. But when it's lax, you'll be able to stop for a second, observe. When it's chaos, you know your world is in trauma. And what you have to understand is wherever we are in life, you can't blame yourself. It's because God is driving the car, and wherever He put you at, that's where you're supposed to be. And you must take the responsibility of understanding that maybe it's something that you did that got you in that position. So you must reflect. This is what I always tell you. In order for you to participate in this program, you have to be 1,000% sure with yourself, not nobody else. It's being honest with you. No one else plays a part in this. It's only you. You see what I'm saying? And when you're ready to change, you will start to be honest with yourself, and you'll see how life changes. And see the beautiful thing about it, you're not in the passenger seat by accident. You know, this is part of the plan to get you to where you need to be. You know, and until you understand that, you're going to be stuck in that position where a lot of people are stuck in that position because they can't uh reinvent themselves or be honest with themselves. Excuse me. I gotta get something to drink. Sorry about that, y'all. Uh, and the thing is, this is what we do. We ask, why here, why now? And you must reflect on the things that you may have done that got you to why here, why now. A lot of us we don't, you know. And the beautiful thing about, let me see, is it this? I don't understand why I keep getting dark. Yeah, yeah, but it's the whole principle of why, you know. But when you're honest with yourself, why not? Because he's showing you something. He's trying to get you to somewhere where you can develop yourself to be better, you know. But a lot of us don't get it, you know. And like I tell you, it took me 50 something years to get it, but I'm happy I got it. And as I was saying, you know, you have to also look at your past actions because nothing just happens. For every action, there's a reaction. So you must look at what the reaction was and what and understand that what was the action that brought on that reaction. The distinctions between fault and responsibility. Fault is past. Responsibility is present. Something you did or failed to do contributed to this location. That's not shame, that's data. Like I said, you must take the responsibility. Until you take the responsibility in life, life is just going to be that. It's going to be uh, victimization and all kinds of other stuff. You must accept the responsibilities of life wherever you are in life. And see, he who owns the cause owns the cure. So if you're able to really realize what got you there, now you know how to deal with it to get you out of there. And this is all he's showing you. He's showing you, look, you need to straighten up. And the only way you're going to do that is you have to embrace your journey. You can't find your path while resenting your past step, by resenting your past steps. And the reason why that is because look, your past, the things that you went through shaped and mold you to who you are today. They shape and mold you to who you are going to be tomorrow, and shape and mold you who you're going to be in the future if you pay attention and you do right by yourself. This is why embracing your journey is so important. Like I tell you, to me, it's the most important principle after, understand there's a God. Because the simple fact is, now you're accepting the responsibility of that whatever God, what direction God is putting you through or putting you in, you're going to accept it and you're going to embrace it and you're going to do your best to do the best at it. Embracing doesn't mean liking it. It means accepting as material. You struggle, you are a raw clay. Tactical shift from why is this happening to me to what is this making possible? You see what I'm saying? Once you transform from the mindset of woe is me to purpose by embracing your journey, now you look and you say, okay, this is doing this, I'm liking this. This is a beautiful thing. And you just have to keep going. Like they say, if you fall down 9, get up 10. Resistance keep you circling the same mountain. Acceptance draws the map. This is why you must embrace your journey so you can make your future. I've heard so many people like after me coming home from oh man, it's so hard out here. This, that. No, it's not hard. It's only hard if you make it hard. There's so many things that we can do, and I'm lazy with a lot of stuff, but I do a lot of stuff. Like I said, I got a book and a podcast. Well, actually, two books: a Kindle version and a paperback version, plus a podcast within a year's time. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying this is what it is, and this is what happens when you put your best foot forward. You don't just uh live, you live life. It's a difference between living and living life, you know. And like I tell you, billionaires would love to have the peace that I have. They would pay money for it. But you can't get it like that. You gotta earn it by living right. And for a long time I didn't live right. And this is why I didn't get it. It's only until I start living right. Like I said, over 10 years ago, I reinvented myself and changed my mindset. And that's what it's all about. Everything is about mindset. And a lot of people don't get that. Whatever you think, whatever you say, feel, and think, that's what you can manifest. Anything the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve, it's up to you. You just got to want to do the right thing. You know, uh, people who found purpose after embracing their lowest seasons. My lowest season was getting shot. And what I did is I embraced my journey and wrote the book. Now I'm doing a podcast. You got to take the negative and turn it to positive. This is what a lot of people don't do. And I try my best every day to do something positive to help people. No matter where I go, no matter what I do, I try to put a smile on people's face because I feel that we're missing love in this world. You can see what's going on in the world and see that it's a mess, but it is what it is, and life goes on. We just got to keep striving, and like I said, a journey starts with the first step. You just got to keep walking, and then you must ask yourself, what part of the journey are you still fighting? Why haven't you embraced your journey? Why haven't you accept Tacc? And do the program so you can heal. But it's only, and then I know how it's gonna go. Once people start to come in and they come in droves, and then I'm speaking in places, then people are gonna want to be because they're gonna see it's real. And I respect that, and this is why I take the time now to build, because I know in the future I'm not gonna be able to do these like this. I will be doing it somewhere else. So I just want y'all to heal. I want y'all to be better. Like I've grown to be. Uh, and like I tell you, the fourth principle, the wall represents everything you've avoided: fear, shortcomings, private shares, all of that. But what tag does is it requires you to walk towards that wall, knowing that you can't go over it, under it, around it. You can't self medicate. You must face it. And this is what a lot of people don't want to do. A lot of people don't want to face their fears, you know, and it's only until you embrace your journey, life is going to be better for you, right? And see, the beautiful thing about it, you may be embarrassed about a lot of things that you've gone on in your life, but only people know about is you and God. And the things that he's putting you through is for your own growth. Like I said, what he does is he prepares us for the future. He gives us what we need to uh, live life in a better way. He lets us go through the times when we acting crazy, but then as you get older, you start to learn and you start to make the changes in your life. And see, most of us live at half capacity because we won't look at their own shadows. You got to face your fears. And then like it's different exercises. Ask yourself, uh, what are you afraid of other people knowing about you? It's a lot of things that come along with doing this program. And the wall is not going to move. You gotta move. You gotta go through it. And the only way you go through it is the fifth principle: breaking through the wall of adversity. And a lot of us look at our problems for many many years and don't really face them. Don't be honest with them. And see, the breakthrough requires a decision. I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to make my way through. I'm going to face my fears, my shortcomings, my adversities, and all the stuff that only you and God know, that when it happened, you get flustered. You know, these are the things that we must. get to understand. And then see, pain is an interest fee. Everything has its pain. And then when you avoid it, you just prolong the pain for the long run. It's just like having a habit. Every time you go back, you just make it worse. And see, one thing you can't do is you can't break through the wall of adversity while lying to yourself. It's not going to work. You have to be honest with yourself 100%, brutally, brutally honest, because you can't change until you make that move of total honesty. And then you got to understand healing is not forgetting. It's understanding what broke you, so it gives you the drive that you need, you know, to do the things that you need to do, you know. And then you got to ask yourself, what's one thing that you've avoided asking yourself? A lot of us have these things. And see, this is what we have to do. First, we must be right, own our position, embrace the road, face the wall, and break through. After breaking through, you don't return to normal. You enter new territory. New walls will come. But now you have a tactical rhythm. Catch, own, embrace, face, break your adversities. Closing challenge. What wall are you looking at today? Start walking towards it in the next 48 hours. This is what you have to do. You have to face everything that you have to face and do the right thing with your life. It's up to you. Tech man out. Peace.